Hey everyone, welcome back to RSB One Stop. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a searchable drop-down list as part of creating a payment schedule. This will allow you to search for suppliers directly from the drop-down list, instead of having to go back and forth to the MasterData sheet and applying filters. This can also be used anywhere where there is a need of similar purpose. To start, you'll need to create a table range for your supplier data. You can do this by selecting the range of cells that contains your supplier data, and then clicking on the Table button in the Insert ribbon, or you can also use the Ctrl+T shortcut key to create a table from selected range, and check My Table has Headers option to use existing headers. If the option is checked, then click on OK to create a table range. Now, click on any cell in the newly created table to rename the table range. This can be used for any future purpose. Please note that there should not be any spaces between the name. Once the name has been set, just click outside of the ribbon to close it and the name will be applied. Now add one more column to the table range to create a search list that dynamically updates as new rows are added to the existing table. Now, we will see how to write a formula that creates a search list that can later be used as a searchable drop-down. For the time being, I am using cell K3 as the reference cell to create a search list based on the search input given in the cell. And as all the rows need to provide search results based on the reference cell K3, I am fixing the cell as a constant using the F4 key, which is indicated by $ on either side of the column and row number. The formula will first use the search function to find the first occurrence of the text string entered in cell K3 in the range A2 to A27. As we have converted the data to a table, we can also use column reference using the square brackets to select the column name, which is supplier name in this scenario. Then, it will use the ISNUMBER function to check whether the value returned by the search function is a number. If the value is a number, then true; if not, it will return false. If the value is a number, then the IF function will return the round number of the first occurrence of the text string in the range A2 to A27. If the value is not a number, then the IF function will return the empty string. The expression row, $A$2, $A$27, row, $A$2, plus 1, returns the smallest number in the range A2, A27 that is greater than or equal to 1. This ensures that the index function will return the value in the correct cell, even if the text string is found in a row other than row 1. The small function will return the smallest number in the range I2 to I2 that is greater than or equal to the result of the IF function. This will be the round number of the first occurrence of the text string in the range A2 to A27. The index function returns the value at a specific row and column in a range that is the result of the function. Finally, the IFERROR function is used to handle the errors by returning an empty string. If there are any blanks in the range, or if the search function could not find anything with the search string on cell K3, it will return an empty string. We are now done with the search list formula. Please don't forget to use Ctrl+Shift+Enter to enclose in curly braces. Curly braces are used to indicate that the formula is an array formula. This tells Excel to treat the formula as an array formula. Now, let's see whether the formula is returning a list based on the search string in cell K3, which we fixed as a reference earlier. Let's now change the search reference to the Payment Schedule tab, cell B2, and search for the supplier, where we actually want to get the supplier details. Let's now create a named range formula that is used as a reference to the drop-down list that we are about to create. To create a new named range, click on Name Manager in the Formula ribbon or use the shortcut key Ctrl+F3. This will launch the Name Manager window, where you can see options like New, Edit, and Delete. Now, select the new option to create a named range by giving a name and entering the formula as follows. The formula starts with the cell reference of the first item in the list, which is MasterData $I$2. The second part of the formula is index, MasterData $I$2 to $I$27 and COUNTIF MasterData $I$2 to $I$27, This part of the formula returns a reference to the last cell in the list by counting the number of cells that contain text using COUNTIF, and then using index to return a reference to that cell. The question mark and asterisk in the COUNTIF function is used as a wildcard character to count all cells that contain any text. This means that if you add or remove items from the list, the named range will automatically adjust to include all items. Once the formula has been correctly entered, press OK to see the named range we have created just now. We will now use the named range to create a searchable drop-down list where we can search and pick the supplier from the list. To do that, select the cell where you want to create the drop-down list. On the Data tab, click Data Validation. In the Data Validation dialog box, select List from the Allow drop-down list. In the Source field, press F3 and select the named range we have created earlier. Now, on the Error Alert tab, uncheck the Show Error Alert option and click OK. The drop-down list will now be created. You can type a search term into the cell, and the drop-down list will display all of the items that match the search term. Now we have successfully created a searchable drop-down list that works on a fixed reference or single cell. But for our purpose, we want the drop-down list to be searchable on all the rows that are needed to enter multiple invoice details. To do that, we just need to make a small adjustment in the search criteria using the INDIRECT function and cell address. Ignore the circular reference error. As we are using cell reference, the search reference cell will be the active cell that we are currently in, which creates a circular reference until we are in that cell. Finally, one last and important thing, when we add new data into the master data sheet, the search list formula keeps the previous row reference even if we create the new row. It can be manually corrected using Ctrl+D on the last row of the search list column, or by changing the search list reference currently from column I to J or any other column to update automatically. Apart from the one shown in the video, you can also use an alternative formula that's being shown on the screen that is simpler, but it will not adjust to blank data between the range as the one shown in the video. I will leave both the formulas in the description. You can use either of them according to your preference. That's all for this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.